President Obama wrapping up the first week of his second term in office. His inaugural speech on Monday, well, triggering some rather strong reaction for his spirited defense of entitlement programs. Take a listen to this.
The commitments we make to each other through Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, these things do not sap our initiative, they strengthen us. They do not make us a nation of takers. They free us to take the risks that make this country great.
So is the president turning hard left? And will the Republicans cave in? Let's bring in our political insiders. John LeBoutelier, former Republican congressman for New York. Pat Goodell, Fox News contributor, former pollster for President Jimmy Carter. Doug Schoen, also a Fox News contributor, former pollster for Bill Clinton. Even the New York Times front banner headline, Obama's liberal agenda. Even the New York Times calling it a liberal agenda.
Well, I think it is. I think the president wants to be a transformational president, not by moving to the center, but by pushing an agenda that involves higher taxes, more spending on social programs, and no cuts in entitlements.
Is that a mistake?
Well, I think, bottom line, we have serious problems with the debt, the deficit, and entitlements, and unless we take them on in a bipartisan way, Greg, I think we do the country a disservice.
Pat?
Well, it's kind of like I got you folks here. Surprise!
I fooled you, and now that I'm reelected, here you go.
Here's the real thing: bigger government, more taxes. But anyway, I think what's interesting to me about this speech, it was so uncompromising, in the sense that there was no discussion whatsoever about the economy. Mm-hmm. The most important issue in the election: I'm going to take care of the middle class. Nothing about the economy. And nothing at all about debt or the fact that this country is going broke. It was all about expanding government, as Doug said, about being transformational in an effort to move left. Unfortunately, I don't think the reality of the times is going to fit it, but he's made his hard play here, and that's what that was.
You know, Congressman, Americans, let's put up the Kaiser poll. Americans want the deficit to be addressed, but without Medicare cuts. Take a look at that poll, 58%, no cuts at all. What do you make of this?
And 31 minor cuts. So you have 89% of the people say, I don't really want to change anything to do with Medicare.
Right.
The speech that he made, I agree with Doug and Pat. It's a left-wing speech, but it was done in the context of, I can get away with it. The Republicans have collapsed. They're in disarray. That line, they do not make us a nation of takers. He's bringing up the 47% comment by Romney again. It's still a political speech. Yeah. The Republicans are non-existent in this debate. They can't counter him and offer up a solution to Medicare or entitlement programs.
This was not a call for an inaugural address, remember we're dealing with, a call to unity, to a nation of big purpose. It was, I have an agenda, I'm going to jam it through.
My way or the highway. Look, and he's getting his way, is he not? Because the GOP is now caved in on the fiscal cliff, and now they've extended the debt ceiling for another 3 months tied to pay. What's the GOP's strategy?
Well, I don't think they have one. I saw a high-ranking aide to the House leadership this weekend, and he told me that they had
turned...
Tell
him where you were.
Where was I was in Davos, okay.
Oh, man.
With the swell.
And hobnobbing with the
swells,
rich wonderful people.
And so-called powerful. But, yeah, they said they turned the corner and that this was a shrewd tactical move. I see it as you do, Greg. I see this as a real problem that indicates that at best the Republicans have tactical responses. Bottom line, the president is getting his way.
What's the deal? Are they shell-shocked from the election? Are they leaderless? Are they both? What's the deal?
All of it. And they didn't think they were going to lose as badly as they did right up to election night. They've never been able to get a handle on why. And we have a faction of hard-right Tea Party people in the Republican caucus in the House that will not let the more moderate members even really talk to Obama. The word compromise is out.
Isn't there an agenda missing?
There is an agenda.
Yeah, growing the economy is missing.
They are the most clueless strategic group of people ever, probably, that I can remember in my time.
Why do you say that?
Because they cannot figure out what they believe in and how to fight Obama.
Are they on the wrong side of a lot of social issues?
Let me give you an example of what they should be doing.
immigration?
They may be to some extent on some of it, but it isn't the social issues. It's the big question. The country is with them on the country is going broke and on the not wanting big government, but they can't frame it in a way that does not seem to say
what
we
about
don't
these
care about
guys,
you.
Boehner and McConnell and Cantor and the leadership here?
Greg, there is no pro-growth agenda to create jobs. There's nothing aspirational. You're right on social issues. There's no tolerance. Bottom line, there's nothing for a voter to attach himself to.
Here is John Boehner. I want you to react to what he said about the president. Take a listen to this.
So we're expecting here over the next 22 months to be the focus of this administration as they attempt to annihilate the Republican Party. And let me just tell you, I do believe that is their goal, to just shove us into the dustbin of history.
John, is he right?
Yeah, of course he's right. But tell me what president doesn't try to annihilate his opposition, especially if they're helping him do it. And in this case, the Republicans have, each time they've negotiated with the president, beginning in the summer of 2011, they have turned down a deal that was better than the next offer they got, and they've kept doing it. You can call it kicking the can down the road. I call it they're surrendering.
No, there was wholesale surrender. But here's the point. The delaying of the debt ceiling, which I had said they need to do because they were going to get their rear ends blown off with it because of the way they were handling it. But what are they buying with those few months? Well, it's not bad about forcing the Senate to address budget. But let me tell you what they're not doing. We're not having a national discussion, the Medicare numbers we were just talking about. Yeah. We're not having a diagnostic consensus in this country that, my God, we're going broke, which then gets you what to do. They go right for the pain.
Right.
They do not go for the
Can I say one thing? The word was used of transformational about, and Doug said he wants to transform himself into even more of a liberal president.
That's right.
Yeah. Where he ought to be, we're political insiders, so I would give him this political advice. He wanted to be a Ronald Reagan. He wanted to be a transformational president. Just as only Nixon could go to China, only an African-American re-elected Democratic president can be the guy to take these entitlements and fix them for the long term.
But he doesn't want to do that. He's made it clear he wants to expand them, raise more revenue, and transform America
but he's going to bankrupt
bigger
them.
government.
They're going to be bankrupt.
Reagan, Johnson, FDR got 60-some% of the vote.
I would tell you, Greg, the new narrative at Davos, deficits and debt don't matter.
Yeah, the same people told us housing was always the worst.
It's just
but the Republicans
somebody else's problems, generations
We're going to grow our way out.